Hi everybody, this is for the trumpet players. Quite a few people asking about valve oil and how to make that work on their instrument. So I thought I'd put a short video together just to go through how to use valve oil on your valves. First of all, it's very important to remember the number of the valves. So 1 is closest to the mouthpiece. So you've got 1, 2 and 3. If you take a valve out and put it in the wrong position, it'll make it so the air won't flow through the instrument and it will block you being able to play. I'm just going to demonstrate by taking my first valve out completely. When I take it out completely, you may be able to see, I'll go closer to the camera here, that there is a big white plastic bit on one side and a smaller one on the other. This can be different on different trumpets, but when you put the valve back in, it needs to slot in correctly. On my trumpet, the larger of the white little plastic bits needs to go close to the bell. That's that section there. So when I put it back in, I'm going to slot it back in with the white plastic section there and wait till I turn it around and it goes click. And once I test that, make sure I can blow through it and make sure that valve is working, and then I can put it back together again. If that is a bit tricky, if you blow and you're finding you've got a blockage, it is probably because that isn't quite turned around correctly. So it's worth just unscrewing and twisting around, make sure it works and blows through correctly. To actually apply valve oil, I'd recommend taking the valve out for about that much. Get some valve oil like this, which you can buy on Amazon or other places. It should be around £6. So it's Trumpet Valve Oil. I know on Amazon they have something called Rocket as a make, and that's perfectly fine. This one's called Alcas. And we just unscrew the lid and we put a small amount of valve oil on each side of the valve. If you put too much on, it will actually clog the valve up, so make it slower. So it's just a small amount on each valve, and then, as I said, we pop it back in, carefully twist, make sure it blows through, and do one valve at a time, and then we just screw it back up. And once you've done that, just wiggle the valve up and down to make sure the oil is going through the valve. Now, this is very, very important. Do not, on any circumstances, put anything other than valve oil on a valve. Don't be tempted to put olive oil or some other thing that you might find around the house, because it won't work. Valve oil is water-based. If you cannot get valve oil, you could just simply put some water on the valve. It would work a little bit, it would make it better, but of course I'm guessing the actual valve oil would make it work best. I'm just going to do one more valve just to show you what you're supposed to do. I'm going to do valve number 3. Okay, so valve number 3, I'm going to unscrew that. I'm just going to lift that up again so I can see the valve down there. I've got my valve oil, putting one little bit on this side, one little bit on this side. And again, I'm very carefully putting the valve back down, giving it a wiggle, make sure it's clicked. Yes, it's blowing through okay. And then I'll screw the valve up. And there it is. And then I wiggle the valve up and down and make sure it's working. And then just check my trumpet is all fine. And the valves are working. Okay, so please check that, and good luck with your valve oil and your instrument. Thank you. Bye.